Hello, traders, and welcome back to another Funded Trading Plus interview. My name is Josh, and today we are joined by Usman, a trader who we only interviewed not so long ago, but since then has managed to withdraw another $75,000, which means that he has managed to profit over $100,000 in less than 3 months of trading. It was a no-brainer to want to catch up with Usman again, so without further ado, let's get into the interview. Usman, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. It's been a pleasure again to be with you, and I didn't expect that I will be here again soon.
Well,
Yeah.
neither did I. Neither did I. It feels like only yesterday that we spoke, Usman. But for the viewers who don't know who you are, could you please reintroduce yourself and explain your journey so far with Funded Trading Plus?
Yeah, so I'm not like as a profession, I'm not a trader, but I started like almost 5.5 years ago, and professionally I'm an engineer. But right now I'm doing like trading full time, like one session after my working hours. I do it like completely. So I joined the Funded Trading Plus this program in December, back in December. Yeah, when I came to know that one of the good thing with the FTP was this no time limit, and also they have like no pressure, no minimum days or anything. Like if you could pass in one day, or you could take like your time and you could do in 2 months. So just because of this, I just came into the FTP, and when I started, I initially started with the 100K. So I scale it up to 200K within like first 32 days, and then I scale into like 400K in next 10 days, and then after 20 days I scale it to 800K. And my profit was of course 10%, 12% now with 800K, which is more than 100,000. So that's how I reached to this point. Yeah.
Well, not only have you caught our attention, you've also caught the attention of our Discord community who have prepared some questions for me to ask you, which I will get to a bit later on. But first, what I really want to know
Yeah.
is what are you going to do with the $75,000?
Well, I had never thought about this. Like I would be withdrawing like such a huge amount, but actually, I had some of my liabilities recently in last year was not financially good for me. So I had to just scope up some of my needs, which I really wanted to. I had a goal in 2023 that I had at least to withdraw 100,000 from the prop firms. So this in within the first quarter, I reached to this point. So at that point, I thought that I should take this opportunity, and I will go back to the after withdrawing the profit, I go back to the actual account which I started building in December. So it will be like reset of my like account, my mind and everything. And the money which I needed, of course, as I said, like I had the last year was bad financially, which I had to cope up. So I had like few, I borrowed some money and the other stuff. So which I will utilize this money just to get rid of myself from all these stresses, and then only focus on the tradings. Yeah.
So you've covered your year goals in the first quarter of 2023.
Yeah.
So that's so exciting. It's so exciting to hear. But could you talk to me about your development as a trader? What was the journey to becoming the trader that you are today?
Well, in the start, every trader, as you know, that this is like when there is the money, your emotions and your actually your personality, whatever is in your personality, is reflect through your emotion into the trading. So every trader, because of the money, once you get the profit, you get greedy, and then you lose all the money. Is the same like path. Is the same path. So first 2 years, I was exactly the same. I was trying to get like profitable consistently, but I couldn't make it because just you can, if you don't set your rules, you cannot cope with the like a certain goals. So like after 2 years, then I try to find different indicators. I had like my charts full of indicators initially. I tried everything. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And even I knew that whatever I'm doing, I'm not satisfied. Like it's just like you could say like it's a gambling, or if it's like a 50% probability, sometime I'm right, but I don't know why I'm getting profit and why I'm losing the trade, because it was not having any plan. So then after 2 years, I just sit down, and when I came to the forex, I found my mentor, I mentioned before also, black box trading. And then the way he actually do it with the minimum risk. So first thing when I started after 2 years, when improve my trading, is that the minimum risk, and I had set my rules. And with the rules and the minimum risk, I actually got one thing in my mind, that you will not get rich in just one day or 1 month or in few months. You will not have a billions or millions in few years, but you have to get like a small amount which you have to compound over the time, and it will at the end of year or 2 or 3 years, it will be a huge amount which you never imagine, because most of the traders, we will not understand the power of compounding. So I try to get a very small amounts from the market, and with the minimum risk, and compound it over the time with my set rules. And of course, as I said, with the mentor, I learned a lot of these things. I have studied also a few websites like Baby Pips, which was one of the initial website from where I have learned a lot of things about trading. And this is how I set my rules, and then I step up slowly with all the tradings. And then I came into the prop firms. Last year I started with few other prop firms, and then FT, Funded Trading Plus, also in December. And now I feel like I have whatever I'm doing, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I have a skill, not like a professional, but still not a beginner. I am like average, but still I know that what I'm doing. This is very important to know. Yeah.
Yeah, if you, well, $75,000 profit, I'd say is a little bit above average. But you
Yeah.
mentioned some certain words like greed and emotions when you do start first trading, and you also talked about trading rules. Are there any trading rules that you can tell the viewers that you do have in place to help you stay consistent with your trading?
Yeah, so first thing is I don't trade very heavy lots. Even I have a very big account. I start with like a mini lots. This is my set rule, and I set with the small targets. So I like for each trade, I don't have like a stop loss or profit taking for each trade, but I have overall account profit taking and account loss. So I manage my positions because I take a lot of positions based on the strategy which I use. Actually, it define within the average daily range of each asset. I take trades. So wherever is the opportunity, if there is a 20 opportunity, I take it, but with the small positions. So my positions might be positive or negative, but I don't increase my lot size. So I scale in with the same positions, and I hit my each time hit my small profit target. Of course, I have a stop loss also with my account, but not on each trade. So when I close, I hit my profit. I have some of my trades in profit, some of my trades in loss, but overall a net account is positive. So first thing is the lot sizes, which is stress free. I'm not sitting or babysitting or watching is a huge lot, or I will just run with the small pips. No, I watch for the longer run with the small positions. I always keep my profit target and account stop loss. And third is I have to be very patient. If there is no opportunity, I don't rush. I wait for the levels. Like in my strategy, I have certain levels defined, like projected high, projected low. So I always wait for this. So that's the main thing which make me consistent actually.
So the main tips that we can take from that is always start small, build your way into it, and always protect
Yeah.
your capital. And I think they're two great tips that any trader, no matter what level they are at, can take on
Yeah.
board. So talking back to your successes, we've spoken about your successes, but can we speak
Yeah.
about what is your biggest trading failure as well? And what did you learn from it? There must be a time in your life, in your trading career, where you've had a failure as well, and it's not always been sunshine and profit how it is now.
It was the first 2 years. Uh, in fact, the first 3 months, I had make around 10,000. It was I was trading bitcoins, which I lost in the same month. So it was a little eye-opening for me. It was a shock, and then I started a little bit like carefully. But again, after 1 or 2 weeks, I was aggressive again. So I made in next 3 months, I almost make 27,000. So which was like a big amount, and I lost before, so I had this in my mind, I could lose this, but still I did again the aggressive trades. And I the biggest capital which I built in the first 2 year was 27K profit, which again I lost all in 1.5 month. So that's where I came to know first the volatility and the crypto, because it's highly volatile. And then I found this forex, which I found like a little bit safer than the crypto. And also it makes sense like to me, like sometimes crypto is just like go up and down without any like technical analysis. I was mainly focusing on. So the biggest loss which I make in the first 2 years that I lost, and that was like I felt like I lost everything. I don't know anything. I don't even want to trade because whatever I will make, I will lose at the end. Because this market will take everything, whatever you will make. But that's not true. If you actually realize why you lost, then you will not be able to do the same thing again. But the problem is we keep doing the same things. Once you get the profit and you get greedy and then you want to make more. So in this market, you cannot make money like every day. You have to make like a small money from this. Easily you can take it with least risk. But over the time, over the months and years, then this thing, when I realized this thing, then it completely changed my trading. So my first 2 years, this biggest failure was this losing all the profit which I built in 9 months. In just 1.5 months I lost all.
Well, that's it. It can be soul crushing to new traders like yourself in the first 2 years, making that profit and losing it all straight away. That really puts traders off, and that's usually where we see traders just quitting, giving up. So it's really good to hear how you're so successful now and how much you've managed to withdraw in the last few months. That must be such a good feeling looking back on your previous 2 years and seeing how far you've come. That must be a great feeling, and it's also a great achievement. So absolutely, yeah, great answers to all of those questions, Usman. So now what we're going to do, we're going to move on to some of our Discord questions, which our Discord community, some of the members in our community have got some questions for you. So I
Sure,
think it's only fair that we ask you some. We'll start with
sure.
at Typhoon. He asks, what does he trade most of the time? Symbols, patterns, and what time frame, of course. How long does he keep his trades open for? Does he trade multi-day or is he a scalper?
Okay, starting from the start. Okay, the currency, I trade all the instrument. It looks weird like how you can trade this, but I'm not like the one who's only trading gold or GJ or like a single pair, because wherever the opportunity based on my strategy, where I found within the daily range, I found the important levels, I trade everything. So for currencies, I actually look what is the most strongest currency based on the currency index, and based on those currency pairs, I look into my strategy where exactly my entry levels are. So based on that, I used to trade the currencies. And on top of it, I trade golds. Of course, 30 to 40% of my trades are gold. And indices, of course, whenever there is like there is a swing, or you feel like when the dollar is moving like as a crazy levels. And then, of course, I look into indices. So I trade all the market. Second is I usually time frame which I usually enter into the positions is 15 minutes. So I scan it on the 4 hour every day. So 4 hours candle for sure. We have six candles, and we need to know after one or two, three candles what next two, three candles is going to be. And based on that, you scale it down to 15 minutes and see exact where your levels are. And then I used to enter on 15 minutes, scanning on 4 hours. Yeah, and then I keep my trades open for maybe 2 3 days on average. I'm not trading like closing every day. So that's why I told you, like, very small positions, you don't need to sit, and you don't need to wait like for the pips, because if I know that I enter at a correct level, for me like most probably this could be right, and then I enter it until it reaches to my profit target or overall account profit target. So my average positions like open like 2 3 days, because it's very small. It's mini load, all mini loads. Maybe one pair could have 10 positions in a day, or five position in a day, but overall like 5 to 10 positions in a day, or maybe 50 or 60 a week. This is normal. This is what my trading like strategies. And the last one was I'm not scalping. I'm the day trader for sure. So I usually trade like New York session, and within the New York session and the next day, 1 or 2 days, I whenever reach my profit target, I close the trade. So it kept open like for 2 to 3 days. Yeah.
No, it's really good to hear your answer. It's so refreshing because you do see it a lot, don't you? Where traders just like to follow the crowd. If one trader only trades Euro USD, for example, or GBP, JPY, they think that's the way you have to trade, and that's where people
Yeah.
go wrong. You can trade as many or as little pairs as you want. Trade like it can work for anybody. Every strategy can
I
work.
can.
It's just
Yeah.
whoever delivers a strategy, and that's so refreshing to hear. And it's really good answer. So yeah,
Yeah.
thanks a lot for that. At Deepak L1702 asks, How do you deal with your emotions when your account size gets bigger?
This is very like good questions, and it's really important to understand as well. See, when I started like 100,000, and if you make 10% of this 100,000, which is 10,000, you know that you make 10%, and then you scale it to 200. While scaling up to 800 or 1.6 million, the amount of the account size or the dollar amount increases, but you need, the most important thing which I look is the profit, the amount of profit I keep in my account. So if I have a 800,000 account, but I have 100,000 profit, so and I can lose maximum up to 100. My threshold is 800,000, which means I can lose only up to 100,000. So my actual account, realized account or loss would be only 100,000. So I treat it like as a 100,000 account. I don't consider it a 810,000 account. So this is what I mean. Like when I have like 40,000, 400,000 with 40,000 profit, I treat it as like 40,000 account. So on 40,000, how much trade or how much risk you are going to take? Like I cannot take like 5 lots or 1 lot straight away because I know that I have only 40,000 to lose. So my actual count is 40,000. Yeah. 400 is still reflecting in the account, which I can utilize it. Any situation could come where I have to use like big loss once in a while. I could use that, but to cope up with this, like increasing up to 1.6 million, I only look at the profit, and this profit is actually my account size, which I have to deal and trade with.
It's such a outside the box looking in kind of thinking, and it's good because the kind of answers that we hear are risk 1% per trade, target one to
Yeah.
two, and it's just really good. You're trading with super low lot sizes,
Yeah.
looking at targets in a couple of days, looking at targets in a couple of days of a trade, and the really good answer. And so you're looking at your profit as your balance instead of your account as your balance. So you're always going to be on the good side of the risk, aren't you? So really clever. At N asks if he could start again, what would he have done different to speed up his learning curve slash process?
Well, in 5 years, yeah, it was, I would say, like whole of your life, in whatever field you are in, you always keep learning. That's true. But only thing which I know that which I will not do, or I will recommend as a new trader also once they are coming into the trading, that you don't whenever you set up your any of the strategy, because so many different strategy could be successful. I cannot say like I'm successful, other strategy could not be successful. Same time, if one trader is going long, other is short, both could be profitable after certain time based on their risk and their exposure. So this is trading is like this. So the only thing which I would say that any new trader, whenever they set any strategy, they don't have to deviate from this. If you set your plan, stick to it. What I was doing, I was keep setting one of my strategy, and I was testing like maybe 2 3 weeks, and then I see some another YouTube video and I diverted and I start doing that thing. So this whole thing wasted a lot of time for me personally. Whenever I said one thing, even I was losing, but it was my test. It was I was testing on the previous months why I lost. And if I would have done this much, I wouldn't be. The results could have like different. So I stick to one strategy since like 3 years, almost 3 years. I don't get my influenced by anyone. If I set my everyday trade based on my strategy and someone else is doing opposite, I don't get influence. Whatever I set, even if I'm wrong, I just set it. So whatever you follow, stick to it, stick to your plan, because sometimes you have like a one trade going positive, and then once it's pulled back, the profit get negative and you close it. By the end, wherever you set your profit target, it always hit there, maybe like after 5 hours, but still at the end you said, oh, I was right. But why you didn't stick to your plan? So this is very important. So I would say, if I wouldn't have go here and there and only stick to one thing and only test it again and again, I would have like maybe progress more quickly.
Even the way that you can reflect on yourself and understand that that's where you'd possibly not gone wrong, but somewhere that you could possibly gone different is really eye opening. It's really important for traders to self analyze and understand where they're going right, where they're going wrong, and it's a really good habit to have. N also asks, what do you plan to do beyond trading?
Beyond trading,
Yeah,
like my plan
is
is
there any
actually,
business goals or any sort
yeah,
of
my plan
business
is, I will
ideas
tell you,
flying?
like, yeah. So other than, as I said, like, as an engineer, I don't like I am doing my job, but I don't like my job. But of course, I love trading. But if I have to do other than the trading, so for sure, I will have investment in the real estate, which is one of the key thing, and even to set up a business in that, that's one of my intentions to do this. Because for your field, once you work, you studied and you work for so long, you can set it anytime. That's fine if you like it. But if you're not want to be in your profession, then of course want to invest in real estate straight away. Because I want to diversify also my profit, not only in the trading but also in different areas of the business. So which is one of this is real estate. Yeah.
Well, it's magical now, isn't it, Usman? Because now that you're withdrawing such large amounts of money, now
Yeah,
this is a time where you can start thinking about
exactly.
diversifying your
Yeah,
portfolio. So it's
that's
really
true.
good, and it couldn't have happened to a better person. At
Yeah.
Aidan asks, can he break down the experience from him first doing the challenge to getting funded? How long did it take for him to pass the challenge, and how long did it take for him to get the first payout?
All right. So I think this was total like 5 stages. Till now, I scale up to 800, even 1.6 million. Yeah, I had made like 10% at 5 different stages. But the most difficult one, of course, is the one when you take the challenge, because this is the first step you have to pass, and the second important is when you get the funded account. Because many of the people, they get failed once they get the funded account, they get excited and they get failed. So when I got this in back in December, early December, I think I have passed this in 20 days, which was like almost 3 weeks, if I remember, 3 weeks and 1 or 2 days. So I actually break it down. My aim, my goal was like I have to reach 10%, and each day I have to make only like 2/10 of a percent or 3/10 of a percent. So this was my initial target, to reach it like 2 to 3 months. Sometimes when you get more good entries, you get like more percentage. But I break it down like 10% into 20 or 30 days. And then I try to get this small percentage every day. So after 2 weeks, I was like keeping it like 0.5%, 0.3% like this. And I was like 2, 3% up in 2 weeks. The last week when I hit like almost 6 weeks, 6%. So the last week when I got this 6%, it was okay. And then I like got it clear in 3 weeks.
Nice. Well, one of the things I've noticed from yourself, Usman, is that you've always had a plan. From the minute we started talking today, all of your trading, it always sounds like you've had a plan and you've stuck to it from day one. And you expected 3 months to pass your challenge, and it took you obviously three weeks. Was it 20 days? Did you say? That's that's some good going.
And then when I
Uh,
got the first funded account, I was more careful. So I said, okay, I have to make 20% in order to get 90 percentage of the profit split. I was not looking for 10%. I was looking for 20%. So when I reach almost 15%, and then I had to withdraw some of the profit, because I was again trying to deviate from my rules, which I said, like, if I any at any point of my trading, I try to deviate from my rules, I reset myself. So I remember I had like 15,000 profit, first 10%. I withdraw almost like 7,000 to drop it down to 8,000, and scale it again to 20%, so that I reset myself. So I had my first payout, I think, after 25 days in January. In January, first week, I got the funded. End of the January, I had my first payout. Yeah.
It's really good. I'm sure traders listening to this now will understand, will take on board, sorry, a lot of advice from this. So it's really good to see. I'm sure a lot of new traders using our platform will really enjoy your answers. Final question from Discord is at Enigma asks, where do you see Funded Trading Plus in 5 years' time?
I think this funded trading plus will be on top of this performance, because as like I will tell you, like I'm having currently now accounts with three different platforms. One of the famous one everyone knows, I don't want to name it, but yeah, they have everyone has the rules which actually try to fail the traders. They don't they To be honest, when I analyze, I found like the time limits which you set, and the minimum number of days, and then your profit split, all these things actually will not pressurize you at all in funded trading plus, which is the best point. Yeah, the people who don't know, maybe they will not rate it at that level, but if I get reached to this 100,000 profit with a funded trading plus, why I couldn't do this in the other prop firms? Because of their like different rules. I will like quickly like list down three or four. You see, once you get funded, you after before you pass the challenge, there is like time restraints which have funded trading plus one point, that they don't have time limit, which for me and the least risk strategy traders, this is the best thing. Okay, so people who want to trade like a pass in one day, okay, fine, you can get the funded account next day. But other firms, they have like 30 minimum days, or you have to trade like 20 days, or you have a maximum 30 days. If you don't pass, this is the pressure, you take risk, you get fail. So this is first thing. Second thing is your profit split, which is 90-10. Even you reach to 20% after getting funded, no one else is giving you that quickly. You make it 20% within 2 weeks, you get it 90%, but others will have limited limit of like 3 months. They have to have a two payouts and so many other things. The third thing is first thing, which is time. Second is you don't have this the important one was the drawdown limit after you get funded, because this I really want to mention, that the difference on my funded accounts with the other trading prop firms and the funded trading plus is that once you reach to 10%, your daily drawdown limit is removed, which no other funded trading prop firms, they are not giving at all. I have requested like particularly to the other firms, like if you make 40% of your funded account as a profit, why still you have to be worried about the daily drawdown? You have to have like a maximum drawdown, which is like the initial balance, because all that you make, and this is all what you have done. So this is the best point. That's why I reached to this level, because I have liberty. Whatever profit I made, I don't have to worry about this daily drawdown, and I could leave my trades for certain days. I don't have to close every trade on the Friday. So that's why I feel like in next 5 years, funded trading plus will be on the top.
Traders, I hope you are taking notes right now. Usman, I could not have said it better myself. I really do appreciate you taking the time to answer the Discord questions from our members. I'm sure they really appreciate it. We're going to move on to the charts very swiftly and have a look at maybe a couple of your recent trades and a couple of breakdowns. Hello, traders. We are back with Usman on the charts. We briefly went over your strategy in the last interview, but could you go over the gist of it just again for us, please?
Yeah. So as I explained before also, that I used to trade all the assets within their daily range. So any asset that can move from like within the range during a day, I look for like the low or the highs during the day to enter into the positions. And also for my profit taking, I usually use these levels. So this is like the representation of like the tool which I use to enter into the position on the 15-minute time frame. When the day starts within the like after during the Asia and up to the London start, which is 10:45 EST time. This duration define like the opening range. Between this, whatever it move, it make high and low, and this is the opening range. From here, I have like previous it calculate like previous 14 days. Based on this average, it project the high and the low of the day from the center. So if I see, if you can see here, like it's already written for me, like it can move on average 3,554 pips. So
Yeah.
this will be from the center up to the top. This will be the maximum it can move from center, and same like from the bottom. So once this representation is in front of me every day, it's very easy for me to look whole market, all these assets. I scan and I see where which asset is exactly on the levels where I could enter. So today this gold trade, we know that it was coming from the high. From last so many days, it is already it is like almost ranging, and here it's broke like the previous highs, and on Friday it dropped down. So today morning when it came down during the Asia, it broke the previous low and another low, and it was almost like somewhere here, which is already broken lows. So when any asset which is in the trend and it's broke the previous lows, then most probably there is like the reverse movement. So based on this, once it's finished, this candle, this bullish candle, when it crosses this center line, for gold, the center line is very important, and I have been testing it and taking trades on the center line since long time, and it's like tried and tested, and I know that it's always true, like most of the time, more than 90% of the time. So when it crossed this bullish candle, I took the trade here because it already broke the previous lows, and from here I took the profit at this level, which is like the projected high. Even it's go a little bit higher and still moving. This can go up to here, and anything above, this is the weekly projected high. Anything above the weekly, for sure I am going to short this for the next coming days if it will be reaching here, because this is the maximum it could go within the week. So if the weekly candle completely it could travel, then for sure there is a possibility of the pullback to come down. So this is where I enter, and also this level was the center level of the previous day. So this level, this line is the center mass. So this always look for the center mass of the previous days also. So this is how I usually trade. Like same I have with the US 30 also, where I know that it's already coming all the way high. Yesterday it make a big on the Friday it has a large move up, and during the range it was very consolidated. So here there was a chance either it could have gone down from here up to the projected low or up. So here when it crosses the center with so much strong bullish candle, and when it's come out of the range, and this is the open level, when it was bouncing on the open, here I entered and I drive it all the way back to the projected high. So here I got entered and it came down all the way, but still it retraced back to the same level. So these projected highs and lows during the when the day start or London start, I know every day. So I usually scan all the charts. Wherever I find the best possibility to enter, I enter into trade and I exit based on these levels. So I trade on this 15 minutes based on this tool, but after the London session. During this session, I don't trade.
Really good. If for the viewers who didn't watch the first interview that we had, you also ran through some tips and some tricks about this strategy and the way that you trade. One thing that makes you unique, Usman, is the way that you scan the entire market. So you're not just focused on one pair, you're not just focusing on a couple of forex pairs. You're focusing on forex pairs, metals, indices, and that's really good because I think a lot of new traders get sucked into the new mindset of you can only trade one pair, one time frame, and the way that you trade is really refreshing. I will just tag last interview just up here for anybody who hasn't seen that. But Usman, you've got something quite special to share with us, which not a lot of traders do share, and that is your MyFX book. You've got that ready for us, and I'm sure this is going to give the traders watching a really good insight onto how diversified your portfolio is and how you do trade with so little risk and yet manage your goals in that way.
Yeah. So this is reflecting like overall performance of my account, like from last 3 months. As you can see that I have like set my daily goals, my weekly, monthly, and yearly goal, and it's a very minimal amount. It's a very small amount as compared to the account size. So which is very easy to hit with the least risk. And if you are keep adding this or compounding this over the days, over the weeks, months, and years, you will ultimately reach to your ultimate like goals, whatever you want. So these are the overall statistics of like the win rate, the best trades, and also I have like almost 70% of my trades as
That's really good.
the winning trades. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have like these loss sizes, but the number of trades I think is almost 6,000, which is like weird. Some people they say how you can take so many of the trades, because I take like the mini lots. So
Yeah.
0.1 of each pair, or maybe I can take 10 or 12 pair scans based on the tool where I find the opportunity. That's why the number of trades you will find quite high. So here is like the summary of overall instruments or the assets I have traded. So
Yeah.
most of them they are positive, but some of them they are negative also. As I said, like if I hit my overall account profit target, even the trades are negative, it's close all and I reset. I reset and watch again for the opportunity, and I start it over. So yeah, the indices and golds, they are the most contributor, but still the currencies have fair uh, contribution as well. So within the hours of the day, I most of the time I only trade this New York session. Yeah, these are the one which I take like little bit, but
Mhm.
mostly my trades are here. And as in the green, you can see almost this is 70% average win rate.
It's nice to look at,
And
isn't it, Usman? It's really nice to look at.
yeah,
Just looking at that
it's
chart, do you
absolutely.
do you have a favorite trading day of the week, or do you just sort of turn up to the charts every day and look just looking for your entry model?
Yeah, my favorite day here, Friday.
Friday,
Of
yeah.
course, because this is Friday, as I said, like we have the best entries on the Friday. So if you see, like I have like most of the trades taken on the Friday on average on all of my trades. And once the Monday, when it pays off or it hit the profit targets, and I set up again. And during these days, we wait again for the Thursday or the Friday just to get to those levels and enter. So yeah, overall Friday is the best, and Monday, of course, this is a bit in between. We know there is a weekend, mostly people they don't trade here, and then they don't trade the first day of the week. But yeah, in my case, this is opposite, you could
Very good.
say.
And when
Yeah,
trading that many different pairs, do you approach each pair differently, or do you still go into each pair with the same sort of plan, the same sort of strategy, or do you sort of look at
same
different
strategy.
time zones to enter?
Yeah, same strategy. I
Same
am
strategy.
very like simple in my strategy and very clear to the point. Whatever I believe that if any pair on average of last 1 or 2 weeks, it could move on average in a certain range. If, for example, Swiss could be different than the pounds and the euro pairs, and Aussie could be sometime different, or Kiwi. So each one has its own range. So within that range, if I found the best entries based on the projected highs and lows, I only look for those. So each individual pairs, same time frame, but same strategy for individual ones, but their own ranges. So I have a calculated range for each one and the strength of the currency on that day also. So currency index, which is a reflection of coming from the 28 pairs movement on average, it reflects like a strength. If the dollar is strength more stronger than the other pairs, I will look for the opposite pairs in order to short those. So that's how I usually scan like the currencies. So here is my like history. I just sorted out based on the symbols. If you see like the gold, all the lots, if you see, these are the mini lots, point
Yeah.
0.1, point 0.1, all the way point 0.1. And if you see like the pips or the net profit, if you see like this is like not like few pips you run it for, this run for maybe like 3 days, 24 to 27, but it only point 0.1 lot give like 300. This is 440, like a percent is like 0.5%, 5/10 of a percent, 2/10 of a percent. So if you see all these small numbers at the end, it compound and result is in front of you. Like you see all these are all point ones.
They
I'm
add
not
up,
like
don't they?
like a
Yeah,
one
they really
lots.
do add up.
Yeah,
You're focusing on the
exactly.
smaller numbers, as you've said many times in this interview. The small
Yeah,
numbers do add up eventually, and I've got to admit, I fall into the bracket of wanting to go big or go home. But watching you
yeah,
trade on such a simplistic in
yeah,
commas simplistic model and at such low lot sizes and still being able to
yeah.
produce these results, it's really
And this
really
is
good to
more
see.
sustainable also. This is in longer term run. If you want to adopt trading as a long term as a profession, and you want to be into the game, you have to be like with the least risk and consistent with the small this profits, and compound it over the time. The power of compounding, you can see like how powerful it is. And here is like my overall gains of the month of Feb and March. The currency pairs, as I defined, like I have like almost 14 to 16, including indices, and all the currencies I'm trading, fairly distributed risk, 4 to 5% on each. Of overall, here is the risk to reward. If, as you see, like some of these pairs are more than I usually aim for 1:2. So my average is 1:1.7, but gold maybe it will be sometime higher, because I look for the particular levels and then I wait for certain days. Here you can see the greens are the longs, which I hold for like almost 1.5 days, and the shorts sometimes is 2 days, 2.5 days. So these are the number of days I'm just holding my trades, because this is a part of my strategy. If I'm not big in positions and I aim for the good longer run and large pips, then I have to wait for longer days. Yeah.
Really, really good, Usman. The viewers watching, the traders watching, take down notes. Usman has just shared some valuable, invaluable information, really, which all of us could benefit from. Just remember, there's not just one way of trading. There's many ways of trading. If somebody tells you that you can only trade one pair, Usman is a clear example that you don't just have to trade one pair. If somebody tells you to trade big, Usman is a great example that trading small lots does add up. So, Usman, I can't thank you enough for jumping on this interview with us today. You've shared some really, really valuable insights. Is there any last sort of comments you'd like to give to the viewers?
Yeah, that's it. I told you, like, keeping it low, with the small, like, least risk. Stick to your plans, believe in yourself and your skills, and you will do it. It's slowly and steady, but you will do it in a longer run. We don't need to find a shortcut in trading. Otherwise, it will be like short term, and it will be no added benefit in long terms. Yeah.
Well, you've been an absolute pleasure to have on yet again, Usman. Thanks a lot. From everybody here at Funded Trading Plus, we can't wait to see where the trading takes you next. Viewers, if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Join our Discord channel with the link down below. And until next time, traders,